So we are continuing our lectures on highway material. Okay. We have discussed about bitumen, the different tests for bitumen, and also we have discussed about aggregates and different tests performed on aggregates for quality for use as pavement material. Okay. Now another important pavement material is soil. You know that for any type of pavement, for rigid pavement or for flexible pavement, soil will be acting as the subgrade. Okay, the load of the entire layers of the pavement will be transferred into the bottommost layer, and the bottommost layer called as subgrade is made up of soil. Okay. Now, so soil means it is an accumulation of or deposit of earth material. Okay, an accumulation or deposition of earth material you call as soil, and the soil is derived from the disintegration of rocks. You obtain soil by the disintegration of rocks or decay of vegetation. When rocks disintegrate or vegetations decay, soil is obtained. And the soil can be excavated. Okay, the excavation can be done with power equipment in the field or gently by mechanical means. So there are certain desirable properties for the soil. So the desirable properties of subgrade soil as a highway material are: the desirable properties of subgrade soil are stability, incompressibility, permanency of strength, minimum changes in volume and stability under adverse conditions of weather and groundwater, good drainage, and ease of compaction. These are the different desirable properties of soil. Okay, I repeat, the different desirable properties of subgrade soil as a highway material include stability, incompressibility, permanency of stress, minimum changes in volume and stability under adverse conditions of weather and groundwater, good drainage, and ease of compaction. Now, the different type of soil. Actually, there is a wide range of types of soils available. There is a wide range of types of soils available for use as a highway construction material. And it is necessary for a highway engineer to identify the different type of soil and also classify them accordingly. So once a classification is needed, a survey of the locally available material, a survey of the locally available material and soil types will give the wide variety of soil types. Now, broadly, the soil types can be classified as laterite soil, murum or red soil, desert sands, alluvial soil, clay including black cotton soil, etc. These are the different classification or categorization of soil. Now, one important classification of soil is gravel. Gravel means they are coarse particles with particle size less than 2.36 mm, coarse particles with particle size less than 2.36 mm, with little fines or without any fines, and it will contribute to the cohesion of the material. Cohesion means actually the finer particles less than 2.36 mm size, and they will be contributing to the sticky nature of soil, that the soil particles will be sticking on to one another. Okay, so there are two type of attractive forces: cohesive force and adhesive force. Adhesive force means the force of attraction between molecules of different particles. For example, if you are using a gum, the material gum will be getting attached to some other surface. So that is an adhesive force. Whereas in the case of cohesion, same type of molecules will be getting attached together. So for the case of soil, it will be exhibiting a cohesive nature. Next one is murum. Murum means they are products of decomposition and weathering of the pavement rock. Once there is decomposition and weathering of pavement rock, you obtain the product murum. Actually, this murum is similar to gravel. Murum is similar to gravel, except the presence of finer content, except the presence of higher content of fines. Next one is silt. Silt means they are finer than sand. Okay, the particle silt is finer than sand, and they are brighter in color. Particle silt is finer than sand, They are brighter in color compared to clay, and the cohesion exhibited will be less for silt. Actually, when you are mixing a lump of silty soil, you have a lump of silty soil that is mixed with water, and you are alternatively tapping that on a surface. So it will exhibit the property of dilatancy. So this is about the different type of soil. You can read it later. Next one is the tests on soil. There are different tests to be conducted on soil. So subgrade soil is a very important part of the pavement structure because it is possible to support the pavement from beneath. The pavement will be able to have a support from beneath if the soil is strength. So the properties of subgrade soil and the quality of the soil is highly important when you are considering the pavement design. So what is the main function of the subgrade soil? The main function of subgrade soil is to give support to the pavement. So in order to have a proper support, adequate support to the pavement, the subgrade should be possessing sufficient stability. The subgrade should possess sufficient stability under adverse climatic and loading conditions. So it is very essential to evaluate the subgrade by conducting tests. We have to conduct certain tests for evaluating the subgrade. So in order to evaluate the strength properties of soil, the tests conducted are divided into three broad groups: shear test, bearing test, and penetration test. Okay. So the different tests that is used to evaluate the strength properties of soil include shear test, bearing test, and penetration test. So shear test means they are usually carried out on very small quantity of sample. Relatively small soil samples. On relatively small soil sample, the shear test will be conducted. So in order to find out the strength property of soil, what we'll be doing is we will be taking a large number of representative samples from different locations. From different locations, samples will be collected. And there are different commonly known shear tests. The shear tests include direct shear test, triaxial compression test, and unconfined compression test. And some other tests include bearing test. Actually, bearing test means they are loading test that is carried on subgrade soil. Another type of test is penetration test. So penetration test, bearing test, and shear test are the different types of tests which are conducted for assessing the quality of soil. So the most important test is the California Bearing Ratio test. That is the CBR test. So in California Bearing Ratio test, actually California Bearing Ratio test is a method of you can use this test for evaluating and classifying the subgrade soil for a flexible pavement. So when we are discussing the design of flexible pavement, there are several methods. We'll study about the several methods for the design of flexible pavement, of which CBR method is one important method. So what is happening is you have a piston. You have a standard piston having an area of 3-inch square or 50 millimeter diameter. Such a piston you are using to penetrate the soil. You are applying this piston onto the soil at a rate of 1.25 mm per minute, and using this piston you are trying to penetrate the soil. Now the pressure up to a penetration of 12.5 mm and its ratio to the bearing value of standard crushed rock is termed as CBR. So California Bearing Ratio means it is a ratio. Whatever is the penetration, whatever is the load corresponding to a specific penetration, you are dividing by a standard load. Standard load means that for standard crushed rocks, what is the load required for a specific penetration? You term it as the, or you coin out it as the California Bearing Ratio value. Now, as the penetration is increasing, the CBR value will be decreasing. At 2.5 mm penetration and at 5 mm penetration, what is the ratio? You report this ratio as the California Bearing Ratio value. Now, the CBR is a measure of resistance of material to penetration of standard plunger. Under the controlled moisture content and controlled density condition, what is the ability or what is the measure of resistance of a material to penetration of standard plunger? You report it as the CBR value. So actually the CBR test can be conducted in different situations, like for undisturbed specimen in the laboratory or also for remolded specimen. So the test procedure for a CBR method, California bearing ratio method, is highly important. So what is done is you have a standard mold. The mold will be of 150 millimeter diameter, and the mold will be attached with a base plate and a collar. A base plate will be fixed below the mold and a collar will be fixed above the mold. And you have a loading frame and you have certain dial gauges for measuring the penetration values and the expansion on soaking. What will be the penetration value? For measurement of penetration value, you have different dial gauges. Now what you are doing is, in the mold you have a specimen and the specimen is soaked. You are soaking the specimen in water for 4 days. And what is the swelling and what is the water absorption? These are noted. The swelling and water absorption is noted. Now on the top of the specimen in the mold, you are applying a surcharge weight. You are placing a surcharge weight on the top of the specimen. Now with a standard plunger, you are applying the load to the specimen. A standard plunger having a diameter of 50 millimeter and at a rate of penetration 1.25 millimeter per minute, you are allowing the plunger to penetrate into the soil. Now, as you obtain the penetration value and the corresponding load values, you have to plot a graph. A graph is plotted between the load and penetration. Now, what is the load corresponding to a penetration value of 2.5 mm and what is the load corresponding to a penetration value of 5 mm? These two values are highly important. Okay, I repeat, the load corresponding to a penetration value of 2.5 mm and also the load corresponding to a penetration value of 5 mm. These loads are noted. So the California bearing ratio, CBR value, is equal to load carried by the specimen divided by load carried by a standard specimen into 100, where the load carried by standard specimen will be, for 2.5 mm penetration, the standard load value is 1370 kilogram, and for 5 mm penetration, the standard load value is 2055 kilogram. So corresponding to 2.5 mm and 5 mm penetration, you will be obtaining two values of CBR. Now, if the value of 2.5 mm is greater than 5 mm penetration, you will be selecting the value corresponding to a 2.5 mm penetration. But in some cases, the value, CBR value obtained from 5 mm penetration will be higher than that value obtained from 2.5 mm penetration. Then you have to repeat the test. Okay. So if the test is giving similar result, then the higher value which is obtained for 5 mm penetration will be reported as the CBR value. So for same sample, 3 tests will be conducted, 3 specimens will be prepared and 3 tests will be conducted and the average of the CBR value will be reported. So this is the figure showing a CBR test. I'll share one video for determination of California bearing ratio test, so it will be more clear. Okay, we'll discuss about other tests in the coming sessions. Okay, so we'll stop for the class.